Individuals, clearly linked to government, placed in highly responsible jobs without an open recruitment process. Multi-million-pound contracts handed to some very curious companies, again frequently with clear links to government. And a very irregular VIP channel for procurement that actively benefited certain companies in tendering for those contracts. Here is part 2. A couple of weeks ago, the National Audit Office released its report into pandemic contracts, including PPE procurement. It makes for concerning reading, highlighting a whole raft of procedural compromises and issues. The mere existence of that VIP channel is a highly unusual departure from standard practice. More than half, that's £10 billion of contracts relating to the pandemic, were awarded without competitive tender. Whilst the NAO acknowledges that the government's procurement officers were under intense pressure, it identifies many instances of huge contracts being awarded without essential documents to safeguard against misuse of public funds, particularly with regard to the unusual VIP channel. As has been noted, in times of emergency procurement, it is good practice to increase scrutiny for these things, not greatly reduce it. The Good Law Project intends to pursue this issue much further. Despite official attempts to bat away the NAO report and statements that it was all urgent, we would never behave improperly, the sheer volume of questionable transactions indicates the way this current government wishes to take the country. But why might this be? Well, unfortunately, because power and money can corrupt. It is the old saga. Bodies like the NAO are supposed to fight back, but never have real teeth to do so, should a government choose to ignore perceived good behaviour. The establishments within many democracies often preclude true democracy. The existence of close educational, social and business links between those who can get themselves elected to power means that the old boy network, the public school tie, will open doors and opportunities closed to others potentially more able but not so connected. Cast your mind back to the parliamentary expenses scandal of 2009. This involved many MPs of all parties and into the Lords. Freedom of information applications from journalists about expenses were permitted by the Information Tribunal, but shooed away as intrusive by House of Commons authorities. The High Court ruled in favour of the release of this information. Before the Commons authorities reluctantly released even their much redacted form of these expenses, the whole lot was leaked to the press. The attempt by many senior politicians to restrict such information from public release had been unedifying. 8 MPs and Lords were successfully prosecuted, then some jailed, for false accounting. Others chose to step down from re-election. Many more were obliged to pay back money claimed. Now, one can make a case that the salaries of MPs relative to the market did not reflect that they were governing the country, but that does not justify what was happening. Such dubious behaviour is certainly nothing new. Under New Labour, many recipients of government largesse had been nicknamed Tony's cronies. David Cameron was described as head of a Chumocracy. This latest bout of questionable ethics is so open and brazen, though, even before the NAO report, and is something not seen in some years. I'm sure it goes back to character. We elect a party into power in the UK, not the Prime Minister directly, unlike a president. But PMs do act as a face for voters and absolutely colour their party. We got Boris Johnson in December 2019. A serial liar, narcissist, a product of English entitlement and a privileged education. Johnson's eminent unsuitability for the role of PM has been on display for years, yet still he gets away with it all. People say of his antics, good old Boris, eyes roll, smiles. He is not harmless at all. The Tories, the far-right sect certainly, needed his boosterism and larger-than-life character to get Brexit done. They put him into number 10. Then the British public were swayed by that single Brexit issue to embrace his many flaws in a general election. An 80-seat majority means the Conservatives could, if they wish, vote anything through Parliament, though that majority is a little shaky of late in the era of COVID-19 unrest. With Johnson as PM, the Tory government inevitably moulds itself about his behaviour. Bojo has never believed rules matter to him. They are for the little people. Only a few days ago, Johnson caused his own ethics advisor, Sir Alex Allen, to quit by refusing to sack Home Secretary Priti Patel. A formal investigation had found clear evidence that she bullied civil servants, breaking the ministerial code. She is a sycophantic Brexiter though, so Bojo leapt on some typically guarded wording to claim the matter was closed as it was unintentional. Alex Allen resigned in disgust. One rule for us, another for Boris. As I've said at other times, vote Johnson, you get Johnson. In Brexit negotiations, the coronavirus response, and now the apparent handing out of favours to associates of the Tory party, we are clearly seeing some of the consequences of that now. Chin chin.